Now let us start with understanding the project structure or Angular project structure. So whatever project structure has been created by CLI, we will understand that project structure one by one. Hello, are you there? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Now, now let me close this. We don't need this anymore. And this. Okay. So this is the studio, Visual Studio Code we have open. Now I'll start from the last file, which is nothing but the TSLint. Now let's go to the Google and search Angular project structure. Nice documentation is available. See this Angular project structure, ng new, and name of the project. We just have created the project, and see workspace configuration files, application project files, then how to manage end-to-end projects, that we'll see, library project files, etc. Now see, your complete project structure is divided into these things like workspace configuration files, application project files, then application configuration files, how to create multiple projects, setting up the multiple project workspace, and the library project files. Okay. Now when you create the project, Angular project, right, you cannot call this as a project. Remember that you cannot call this as what? Project. This thing is nothing but the workspace is Angular from the, I think, Angular 7, right? This thing has came into the market. Workspace concept means in one workspace there would be the multiple projects, right? Now how to do that, let me show you. But remember that so if you want to create, I'm talking about now, if you want to create a application, Angular CLI or Angular allows you to create two types of the applications or two types of the projects. Can you see here? This is a angular.json file, and this file is a schematic for your complete project. Means what would be the app prefix, where is the source directory, which is the root directory, right? What is the output path, what is index.html here, what is the starting point, all such things you mention inside angular.json file. Which file? Angular.json. And this file is available at the root level. This file is available at the root level. And see, if you go to the angular.json, your project name is over here, right, which is a default project also. And if you go inside that, what is a project type of this, what you can say, project? See now, ANG, if you see ANG batch project, ANG batch project is the name of actually workspace. This is a workspace, right? But Angular CLI creates projects also. This is a default project. If you don't create any project internally, this would be considered as a default project. Now if you go here, see project type, application, and one more project type is there, library. There are two project types given to you by Angular. One is an application project and one is a library project. Now can you see default project, Angular batch project? Angular batch project is a name of the workspace, but CLI creates project with the same name and says that this is a default project. This is what? Default project. Now as I told you, Angular allows you to create two types of the projects. First one is application type and second one is a library type. Let us try to create the library project. Now ng generate library command is this. I'll fire a command. So I think inside this there is one more directory, ang batch project. Remember that whenever you fire the command, related to creating component, creating modules, creating libraries, you should be inside the root level. If I make, can you see, Angular JSON is there, then package.json is there, means this is a root directory for your project. So I can say ng generate command for generating project, right, is of type application or library. The command is this: ng generate library. Let me see the command. Ng, can you see, ng generate type of the project, application or library. Ng generate type of the project, application or library, and name of your project. And here I can, sorry, here I will go library, and here you can say first lib, first hyphen lib, my first lib, my hyphen first hyphen lib. No spaces in the name, right? No spaces in the name of the project, or there won't be no spaces, or there won't be no spaces in the name of the component. I'll tell you while we will creating the component. So ng generate library, my first lib, hit the enter. It will create a library project inside your existing repository. Now just come to the, can you see, earlier it was this only, and now recently we have created this, my first lib, my first lib. Now if you go here, type of the project is library. If you go here sorry, if you go here, type of the project is application, and type of the project is what? Library. So this is the application type project, this is a library type project. Well, you can create application also. It is installing some packages, it will take a little while. Okay, now see, just go inside this workspace. I am referring this to as what? Workspace. But remember that Angular creates one project which name is same as the workspace name, and that is the application type project. Now you will ask me the question, what is difference between, can you see, projects is a directory, under that my first lib has been created, under that my first lib, and there is a source, and same things are there. See, now you will ask me a question, what is difference between application project, means this application project, and the library project? What is the difference between application project and library project? Remember that this is independent executable project. So this is a separate project. Remember that, independently executable project. So you can host it anywhere, right? But the library projects are that projects which needs to be used inside your application project. Consider that you are developing the ERP, right? Let me draw it on the sketchpad. Let me draw it on the sketchpad. Well, something happened to my keyboard. Yeah, sketchpad. Okay, now let me remove it, and at the center, let's say ERP. You are building what? ERP. Now ERP would be having, just a moment, ERP would be having different modules. So this module you can call it as sales, this module you can call it as purchase, This module you can call it as quotation, etc, etc. So this is the ERP you have, and to the ERP there is a sales module, to the ERP there is a purchase module, and to the quotation there is what you can say quotation module. Now see, this is one project, you can say application project, this is the application project, and this is the application project. Remember that this is nothing but what I'll write here, app project, application project. This is also app project, this is also app project. Okay, now one more feature is that everything that is sales, purchase and the quotation needs to have PDF print. Means sale order need to be printed in a PDF format, purchase order need to be printed in a PDF format, and quotation needs to be printed in a PDF format. Are you getting that? So you are creating one more module, but remember that this module is not executable. You cannot execute this module. And here I can say PDF generator module, right? And remember that it is not the application module, it is library module, because standalone PDF generator we don't need, lib module or lib project you can say. And this library project is injected in a sales project, this library project is injected in a purchase project, and this is injected in a quotation project. So you have written one code, right? And all three application projects are using this library, and this is nothing but your what you can say library project is, and that is nothing but your this library project is. Library project is for helping application project for solving some purpose, right? For solving some purpose. That is nothing but what Angular batch project, my first lib. Remember that. What do you mean by application project? Which can be executed independently. This can be executed what? Independently. But this your my first lib cannot be executed independently. That is a dependent on the application project. Remember that. And these are the libraries for solving some reusable purpose. So PDF can be used in sales, PDF can be used in purchase, PDF can be used in quotation. So this is nothing but about the application project and the library project. Okay, now this is about creating project. Now how do you create the application project? See, now instead of library you can say application, my first app, I can say my first app, application, hit the enter. Now under the projects you will find one more directory would be there. Can you see? Would you like to routing? I say no. Yes, CSS would be the styling format. Can you see under the project now there are two folders, my first app, my first lib. So this is how you will create. And under the Angular JSON, Angular batch project is a default one, my first lib is you have created library, and my first app that you have recently created, right? And default project is Angular batch project. If none of this is available, so the default whatever CLI has created, that would be considered as the executable project. Okay, so this is about what you can say the projects and the angular.json file. What is angular.json file? It is a schematic for generating the Angular project, right? Now where new projects would be stored, new project root, can you see project directory? Here it is a projects directory, and so many things like that. What is the root of this? What is the source directory? What is a prefix, right? And many other things, where assets are going to be stored, where styles are going to be stored, where different scripts are going to be stored, what type of configuration need, everything has been written inside this JSON file. JSON file is a schematic of your actual project structure or project hierarchy, is nothing but this file. Very important file, remember that. So whenever you want to add the bootstrap and other things, you come here in this, and can you see here you can add some libraries. I'll show you where is that. Yeah, here you add the styles related to the bootstrap and other things. Okay, third party scripts you can add over here. So remember that about the angular.json file. I'm going to tell you later on how to exactly add third party libraries, but just remember about the angular.json. Then tslint is a linting, a grammar of your written code is going to be checked by this linting. Means, for example, what is the max length line length? What is the max line length? Means you can have a 140 characters in one length, so you can change it, not an issue, or you can completely skip this part if you want to. But it's a good to have some grammar checking while you type the code. Can you see quote mark? What type of quote marks you need to use? Single. It doesn't mean that you should use single only, right? Semicolon, always we have written, means you need to write the semicolons. Space before function parent, anonymous, arrow function, constructor. So it's a grammar how your code will look like, and this file, your code is going to be checked against this file, and that's, we call it as the linting. Okay, then there is something called as three TypeScript configurations are there. One is TS configuration base, one is TS configuration for application, and TS configuration for specification. Specification is nothing but the testing related files, and app is nothing but your code related files. So TS config, app, and this. Okay, now TS config.json. So compile on save false, means when you save you don't need to compile. That has been is a configuration for the TypeScript. I think we need to install the TypeScript also. So let's go here, TypeScript, go to the TypeScript website. I think we have forgotten to install the TypeScript. Yeah, npm install /g and the TypeScript. At the global level, remember that you have installed CLI by using /g, you have installed Node by using /g, right? And now you have installed the TypeScript by using /g. /g is nothing but the globally. You can install Node packages either globally or the locally. We'll discuss that just a moment. So let me cover this. So TypeScript configuration of your TS. These are the compiler options. Where is output directory? Where is the base URL? Where exactly you need to check? Where exactly TS files are there in the base URL? Source map. Source map is that thing. Your JS code is mapped with your TS code, right? That is a source map. You have enabled it. Declaration false, down level interval, and many things are there, right? That you might not need to touch this file anytime, but sometimes you need to touch. If you get some errors, you might need to change the TypeScript configuration. Now app is an extended version of this TS config. TS config app is an extended version of this TS config, right? See, whatever I'm telling you, all that has been written inside this project structure, right? Whatever I'm telling you, all that has been written inside this document. You may read it later on. Now see, this TS config.app is for your Angular application, which extends tsconfig.json. Compiler option, out dir, types, files. So some extended, can you see, extends this base configuration, and something more specific things related to the app. Now more specific thing related to the testing. So you need to write a test cases also. You need test cases also. At that time also you need TypeScript configuration, and that configuration part you have written over here. Well, most of these files you don't need to touch anytime, right? Most of these files you never need to touch, but sometimes if you are getting some critical errors, you might need to make changes over here. Okay, so this is about the TS config files. Then there is something called as readme. There is something called as what? Readme. So whenever you push the project on the GitHub, whatever you see here, can you see readme.md? Readme.md. This is that file. This is which file? This is that file, readme.md. Well, now package.json. Package.json is every node project, remember that Angular is a node project. Project structure is of the node project. It doesn't mean that you need a Node.js, right? Means for hosting the projects you need Node.js. No, just for developers it is a node project, and just for developers it's a node project. And this is the node project structure, that every node project would be having some name, would be having some version. You can change the version here, 0.0.1, right? Scripts that you want to run. So this package is private, means whenever you publish this package on the npm registry, what would be the state? You can make public, not an issue. Private, false, means it is a public, right? And there is a dependencies. See, we need this much type of Angular dependencies. Can you see all the Angular dependencies, Angular animations? Means what is happening, whatever you write over here, dependencies and the dev dependencies, right? So it will go to the npm registry. Just go to the npm registry now, npm.js, hit the enter, npm.js, hit the enter, and here you can search for @Angular animations. You'll find this dependency over there. So whatever your project needs to be downloaded from the npm registry, you can put that here and you can put that here. Just put this package, @Angular animations. Can you see @Angular animations over here? And same we are using, what is the latest version? 10.1.2. Can you see latest version? And what we are using? 10.1.2. Can you see this? 10.1.2. Sorry, here animations 10.1.2. Now whenever you download the project, now on your machine, if you want to get this project, right, what you will do, go to the base URL, then git clone, right, git clone this repository, then complete this folder would be getting downloaded. Now you will go cd ang batch project, right? And at that time here you will come and you will make npm install, right? When you make npm install, all the dependencies from all the required packages from the dependencies and the dev dependencies, all the required packages from dependencies and the dev dependencies would be downloaded and placed under one folder called as node modules. Can you see @Angular is there, then animations is there. We are talking about this @Angular animations, right? All these packages would be getting downloaded from the node modules. Are you getting that? All these packages would be getting downloaded from the npm registry and placed under node_modules. I'll show you. If I delete this, I have deleted that node_modules. Then again I need to go to, consider that I have recently cloned the project, then I would be inside this directory, this directory, and I would be getting these three directories. I need to move to cd ang batch project, and here you can say npm install. It will install all the dependencies and the dev dependencies. See, it will install again. Now you will find that node modules would be getting created over here in a moment. See, now it is completing. It will take little bit time. Okay, now see, node modules has been generated. Can you see that node modules has been generated? I have deleted, but it has been generated. Now dependencies and the dev dependencies both would be placed inside this node module. Both dependencies and dev dependencies would be placed inside this node modules. You getting that? Now what is the difference between dependencies and the dev dependencies? Remember that whenever you generate the build final deployable, right, at that time only dependencies would be captured and dev dependencies would be skipped. Remember that dev dependencies are for developers, and that's why if you go here, TypeScript is a part of dev dependency, if you see, and that is not part of the dependency. Dependency means what? Whenever you create the build and host it on your hosting, whenever you generate a final level build and you host it on your hosting, are you getting that? At that time, whenever you create a build and host it on your hosting, at that time these dependencies were skipped, because these are the dev, means these are for the developers, and see TypeScript is at the dev dependency, which proves that your browser doesn't understand the TypeScript, and the limitation or the scope of the TypeScript is limited to the developer's machine, right? And whatever final code would be getting generated, that is transpiled to JS and bundled in the dependencies, right? Remember that. Now how do you generate the build of your project? This is actually last session we have how to deploying the build, but still I will show you that there is no TypeScript in a final deployable file. So there is a build and there is something called as ng build. Remember that ng is the node module we have downloaded by means of CLI. That is nothing but the ng. So CLI gives you facility for running the project, for building the project, for testing the project, for checking the lints, and end-to-end testing. We'll see that. What do you mean by this? End-to-end testing. Okay, now what I want to do, I would like to generate the build. So ng build. Now look at this one build dist folder would be getting generated somewhere here. Ng build. Now see, it is generating. It will take a little time. See, all the TypeScript files are getting converted to the JS, and then it will generate one build. Yeah, see now, can you see dist folder has been generated? Dist folder has been generated, and these are the normal files. Can you see index.html, main.js, main.js.map, map files we have talked about, right? These, where is that? Okay, styles.js, then vendor.js, vendormap.js, right? All these files are nothing but normal your HTML folder. If you have an HTML website, you will find these many things. There is no TypeScript over here, and this is going to be deployed on your server, on your GoDaddy hosting or any other hosting providers. You can deploy this thing over there, right? That is about the scripts. That is about what? Scripts. So if you see which command I have fired, ng build. Which command I have fired? Ng build. But there is something called as script, right? There is something called as what? Script. Script means what? You can add some more, you can combine multiple commands and you can create one script. For example, ng build, same thing, ng build only, but can be run by means of npm run, and you can say build, npm run build. See, can you see it is which command it is executing? Ng build only, but I have executed by means of npm run build. Why? By means of npm you can mix the two commands. You can mix the ng serve ng build and ng serve. You can do like this also, ng serve. Sorry, not server, ng serve. That's why this is a script. Means if you want to combine two commands together, you can do that by means of this. So if you have too much bigger commands, you can create one script out of that, and internal node npm will execute that command by means of npm run. So whatever you write in a script, that can be executed by means of npm run start, npm run build, something like that. If you want to run this by means of npm, it is npm run start, like that. Okay, fine. No comments are not allowed here. So this is about your package.json file. Package.json file is the file for the node projects. What are the scripts, what are the dependencies, what are the dev dependencies? It is going to be described in this way. Then package.log.json, package.log.json. It is similar to the package.json, but it keeps the track which dependencies have been downloaded and which dependencies have not been downloaded. When you consider that network has been turned off while the npm install downloads the dependencies, sometimes network goes off. At that time, the information or track of your dependencies is kept inside package.log.json. It is that file, remember that. Okay, then there is something called as karma config. Remember that karma is a unit testing utility. If you go to the Google, karma unit testing, right, is a test runner. Karma is what? Test runner. If you see, karma is a test runner, test on the real devices, remote control, testing framework, open source, easy debugging, and continuous integration is allowed. Okay, now, so this is related to the test runner. So if you want to run the tests, you are going to use the karma, and that needs some configuration. So you don't need to change this file anytime, right? You don't need to change this file anytime. You can keep this file as it is, but this is related to the karma. Remember that. Unit testing configuration. Now there comes angular.json. We have seen that. Now git ignore. Now see, there are the folders like node modules and the dist. I have pushed the code. Let me push it again. Say safe commit. Then push. Now see, no matter what you do, this gray, can you see the folder color of project is white and the folder color of node module is gray, and dist is what? Gray. If you go here, everything is there, right? But you will not find dist over here. You will not find node underscore module over here, because it is gray, and it is gray because it is mentioned in .gitignore file that do not upload the node modules while you are pushing to the source control. Do not upload these ID related files. Do not upload these VS Code related files. Do not upload these files, right? These files are the machine dependent or the developer dependent. So you can create the node modules by means of cloning the project and hitting the npm install command automatically. Dist can be generated automatically, right? Then temp files, then out tsc, then bazel out, such things are there that don't need to be on the, what you can say, GitHub, that don't need to be on the version control system. And that's why whatever you don't need to be pushed on the version control system, write that folders files over here, right? That would be excluded at the time of pushing the code. Okay, now browser list. Now see, So browser list, see, you can see what browsers were selected by your queries by running browser npx browser list. Now let me show you first what is a browser list. Support of the browser. Just a moment. This file is used by the build system to adjust CSS and the JS output to support the specific browsers below. Remember that. If you want to worry about the platform support or the browser support, this file is helping you. It supports the Chrome, it supports Firefox, Edge, Safari, iOS and IE 910. Then not in IE, not supported, not in IE 11, because Edge support is given, and Edge support is given. Remember that. Which browser support, that decided by this thing. Browser list is actually one of the library. I'll show you. Browser list, this thing. So the configurations you have to target browsers and Node.js version between the different front-end tools. Right. So you just need to go on putting the browsers, names of the browsers, and it will handle lot many things internally. Getting that? That is nothing but the browser list. You can read about this package more if you are more interested. But generally you don't need to touch this file, right? You need to touch the git ignore file. Karma config, you don't need to touch the file. Okay. Then there come dist. I'll come to these. We have seen what is a node modules. Node module is output of npm install, and it contains dependencies and the dev dependencies. Then dist has been generated file. That is a final deployable file. Dist is what? Final deployable file that would be uploaded on your GitHub hosting. Oh, sorry, on your web hosting. That is dist. Then there is something called as E2E. E2E is related to the end-to-end testing, right? So you can write something like that. Specifications is a Jasmine specifications. You'll get to know. We are going to see that in a separate session how to write the test cases, but presently don't worry. So E2E folder is related to the end-to-end testing, right? It will check your complete website. It is a automation testing. It will check your complete website and generate some reports. That is the E2E. Okay. Then you have something called as source, where your all the, what you can say, files are available. Why it is red? There is an error. Oh, Z is the error. Instruct the TypeScript compiler how to compile TS files. But why there is the error? I think this is not an error. But it is showing it is an error. This is for this, this is for this, this. I don't see any error here. Okay, there is no error. Fine. Okay. Now we have discussed what do you mean by projects folder. Project folder is that folder where your all the applications or your libraries would be getting stored, right? Now there is something called as source project. There is something called as source folder. In the source folder, your actual source files are getting stored, where you are going to type the code. It is that folder. Source folder is that folder where your actual source files are getting stored. Okay. Then there is something called as style CSS, polyfills TS, main TS, index HTML, environment.ts, and these files. Now see, if you go to the angular.json file, and if you go to the particular project, say default project, angular batch project, can you see your index file is source index HTML, this. Your main file is source main.ts, this file. Your polyfills file is source polyfills, this. Your CSS file, can you see styles are source style CSS. Testing file is this file. Means whatever you see over here, it is an exact reflection over here. Reflection of this file you will see over here. Okay, now when you go to the test.ts, it is again testing configuration for the karma testing. It is again what? Testing configuration for the karma testing. You don't need to change this file anytime, right? I'll specifically tell you if you want to change these files. Then styles.css. Here you can have the global CSS, the CSS which are applicable across complete project. You can write that over here. Now if you go to the Angular JSON again, this default style.css is already configured. So if you want to write any styles which are applicable on the global CSS, global, this application level, remember that global means I'm talking about this particular application level. So if you want to apply for all these three, then you need to write in respective CSS. So every project has its own CSS. For library it might not be there. Yeah, for library it might not be there, but for first app it would be there. Assets are these main. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, can you see styles? This is a separate projects. My first app, source, style. Let's go to the projects. My first app, projects, my first app. Then what? Styles.css. This thing. So if you want to apply the styles throughout the complete module, throughout the complete project, right? Throughout the complete project, you will add that in a style.css. You will add that in a style.css. Okay. Then there comes polyfills.ts. Remember that there are two types of the polyfills. One is a, what do you mean by polyfill first? Some features are not supported by some browsers. Some features are not supported by some browsers. At that time, that gap needs to be completed, or that gap needs to be filled by means of some software part. That is nothing but the polyfills. That part is nothing but what? Polyfills. You will get to know. See here, web animations are not running on the IE or the Edge or Safari, right? Web animations are not executing on the IE, Edge or Safari. If you want to make web animations applicable on these browsers, right, just uncomment this line and make a npm install -- save webanimation.js. So these are nothing but what? Polyfills. Remember that these are nothing but what the polyfills are. Then Angular says that there are two types of the polyfills: browser polyfills and the application imports. So these are applied before loading the zone.js and sorted by the browsers. Browser polyfills, these are applied before loading the zone.js and sorted by browsers. And application imports, these are related to your application. So these are not related to your application, but these are required for filling the gap, right? Means these things, the below web animations are there. Then and can you see after that application imports will start. First your, it is like sequence of JS matters. If you write index.js, index.html, into that index.html sequence of your JS import matter. In the same way, first you need to import things related to the browser, and then you need to import application related imports, and that is after the zone.js. After this file you need to add over here, right? But you don't need to change this file anytime. Okay, now this is about the polyfill, this is about the CSS, and this is about the polyfills. Now you know what do you mean by app. We'll see what do you mean by app. But assets, remember that if you want to have any images, background images, some background music, that you would be put under the asset. Then environment, there are two environment, prod environment and dev environment. All that settings you can put over here, right? How to select the prod environment and dev environment? By means of this ng build -- prod. If you make -- prod over here, this file would be getting selected. If you will not make anything, by default the dev environment would be getting selected. Remember that here is the flag prod. Can you see this dot prod is coming from -- prod? Okay, remember that. How do you select the environment at the time of building? Now there is a fav icon. Fav icon is that icon, right? This is the Angular icon which comes. Can you see this blue color TS over here? That is the fav icon. This Angular icon is a fav icon. S is a fav icon. This G is a fav icon. N is a fav icon. K is a fav icon. That icon is nothing but this. Then there is something called as, right, index.html. Well, this is your main file. From here your application will start. Now what I want to do, I want to start the application. Now if you go to the package.json, package.json has given you one script called as serve. Serve, what it does, it creates the local debugging testing server on your machine. See, ng serve or npm start. Npm what? Start. Can you see what it is running? It is running ng serve. What it is saying? It will create the local development testing debugging server for you, right? You will not make, this is not for the production command, this is for just local level testing. See, it is converting existing TypeScript to the JS, and it is loading in your website, loading in your web browser. Okay, can you see Angular live development server is listening on localhost 4200. Open your browser on HTTP 4200, compiled successfully. There are no errors. So go to the browser, and here you can say localhost 4200. See, here you see simple Angular page has been generated. If you see this, your Angular page is working properly, or Angular configuration is working properly, right? Remember that start, npm start or ng serve, both are mapped commands, both are same. Okay, now just make a control U to see the page source. Can you see your project has been loaded in a browser, and see first file is this script runtime.js. Then there is something called as polyfill.js. Then there is something called as style.js. Then there is something called as vendor.js, and then there is at the last you will find what? Main.js, and at the last you will find what? Main.js, and this is your running application. Now how does the Angular application works? How does the Angular application works? First, index.html gets loaded in your browser, right? Means this file is getting loaded. Once this file is getting loaded, from this file it enters to the main.ts. It enters to what? Main.ts. it checks if it is a production environment, then enable the production mode, right? Then it enables the production mode. Then it it gets from this, from the index HTML, it gets main TS. From main TS it gets app module file, means main module file, right? And from the main module file it gets the main root component. Now if you go to the index.html, there is something called as app root. Well, this is not the HTML element that HTML has provided. This is some custom element. So first index.html gets loaded. From the index it founds that this is a main, and from the main it founds that main module. Then from the main module, this is the main module, it founds that there is a root component. Can you see Bootstrap? It is not the CSS framework Bootstrap, but it is saying that the launching, the application launching will start from which component? App component. This is the app component. And can you see app component has a CSS selector app root. App component has a CSS selector app root. So by the definition, first index.html would be getting loaded, then main TS would be getting loaded, then app module would be getting loaded, and then app component would be getting loaded. This is a sequence, remember that. So when you hit something called as mydomain.com, this index gets loaded, then main, then your app module. From the app module it finds app component, and here is your app component. This gets loaded. Okay, so this is the sequence. Any questions you have so far? Okay, what is the difference between ng build and ng build prod? When you hit the ng build, right, this is a development level, this is a dev environment. And when you add prod, this is a production environment. So this is a development environment. For the development environment your testing servers are different, and for the production environments your production servers are different. So it selects file from here. So if it is a dev environment, let's go to the, sorry, if it is a dev environment, it selects this file. You can make a change. Can you see production false? And you can write some URL over here. URL, server URL is http localhost 3000, something like that. And on the prod URL would be this URL https, you can say google.com, https and the google.com, right? So these things are changing. These things are changing in the dev environment and the prod environment, right? Is it clear? Hello? Yeah. Okay. So this is the dev environment, this is the prod environment. Well, this is about what you can say project structure. This is about what? Project structure and the execution flow of your Angular project. Okay. Well, on the next weekend I'm going to start with the components. Very, very important chapter. Angular components, right? So next weekend 11:30 AM, remember that. I'm pushing the code this much. Angular project structure. 11:30 a.m. Batch timing is 11:30 a.m. Batch timing is 11:30 a.m. Okay, I will push the code, right? I am stopping the recording. Do you have any queries? Hello? Yes, I have pushed the code. Any queries? Okay, fine. Yes, thank you. Now I'm disconnecting the call.